Okay, there you go. This is always something we look forward to. It's always a battle. We always feel that regardless of the outcomes, we walk away a better team because of the intensity. Great athletes versus great athletes. We always feel that. We walked in knowing that. Thought Kelly threw one of her best games, just in complete control. Stuff was working really well, stayed way ahead of counts. Really proud of that. We made a few base running mistakes, but we were pressuring, putting runners in scoring position. Getting an early lead felt good, and then Jayda taking that 3-run blast over a right field fence just really felt comforting, because you know what you're going to get from Texas, and that is constant. They're not going to quit. Even if they maybe didn't have their best offensive night, you know that they're going to do something. They showed that in the 7th. So it was a big win for us. Felt good to get the first one under our belt.
Sweet. Same thing as last time. I'll pass on to Mike. Name, affiliation, please.
Okay. Brian Chapman, all series. Kelly, we've talked since conference play about finding another level, but Thursday against Kansas, then today, what extra have you found here over these last 2 outings?
I think still just working through what I worked so hard with Coach Rocha, finding my routine, staying with it, really just being in control on my tempo, on my behalf. So really just feeding balls to the defense and letting them be behind me.
Ryan Aber from the Oklahoma. Jayda, we just talked to Mike White in here, and he talked about how aggressive y'all were early in the count, especially compared to his team. What was the approach coming in today at the plate, and how do you feel like that played out?
Yeah, I think it was to be aggressive, get a pitch that you like to hit. Their pitchers are really good. They can paint both sides of the plate, and just getting the pitch that you want and not falling into any traps. And I think we did a really good job of doing that today.
Jesse Grindon, OU Insider. Patty, you mentioned how tough the environment is, how tough Texas is, but how big is it, especially when it's 2-0 for a lot of that game, to, Jayda's hit or Riley making plays? Having veterans making those type of plays, how important is that?
Yeah, I think you can just maybe exhale a little bit, but I mean, a lot of times you just feel tense sometimes up here, just knowing that one swing can change the game on their side as well. So having insurance runs is always very helpful in this environment and in this game.
Coach, Tuesday you talked about you like batting first because you can kind of seize that momentum early, but it was kind of building off of Kelly's momentum. How does that work for an offense to feed off what your pitcher's doing in the circle?
You feel really confident. Although we aren't throwing one pitch, we aren't doing one thing. We're just really leaning in on what Kelly's doing on the mound, and she looked in control. She looked like a boss, and we talk a lot about that in our body language, and I think that created some momentum for our team. The team wanted to play really good defense behind her as well, so it did. Her performance really gave us confidence and gave us the will to want to get those big hits for her performance.
Josh Newman from LoneStarLive.com. For any of you, can you just describe what the atmosphere out there is like, especially in the 7th, with the outcome hanging in the balance, and maybe where that atmosphere stacks up against some other visiting stadiums that you've seen this season?
I would say it's probably one of the loudest that I've ever heard. It was, credit their crowd. They were really loud, and it was hard, to kind of get through that, but I'm just grateful my defense was behind me.
Yeah, that outfield was chirping at me and Hannah all game. It makes the game fun, makes the game more competitive, I think, but I think it was good for our team to feel that in the 7th, for Kelly to feel that, for us to feel that as an offense, that we need to know that there's not a big enough lead. We got to keep pushing before we get to the 6th and 7th inning. But yeah, the crowd was super, super loud.
Any other questions? We have one in the front right here.
Kelly, you mentioned defense, and Patty, if you could touch on this too. I want to ask you about the play that Tiare made there to end the game, and what what that's like, being in the circle and having a player like Tiare behind you making those kind of plays.
I mean, it just shows how talented she is, and in those types of moments, I mean, we're playing free and we're playing for something bigger than the game of softball, and so for her just to step up in that moment was huge.
I think Brito had something to do with that as well. And Brito, I felt her confidence off that corner all night, and we knew she was going to get a lot of action. She handled it well. The tip, I think it might have happened twice throughout the game, but I'm really proud of Tiare because everybody always compares her to a former shortstop that was really good at OU last year, and Tiare's just different in a wonderful way as well, and just making big plays.
Coach, just going to ask first full game run out for Kinsey, just how do you feel she was as far as settling back in, kind of after you ramped her back up in last weekend?
She was good. She was really good. I was proud of her, and she handled some tough pitches pretty well, kept things in front of her, and it's nice to have her back. Although Riley Ludlam was so great as well, it's just nice to have everybody healthy on the bench, everybody healthy on this team. So yeah, she was right back in the middle of it.
Anything else? Perfect.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.